What's good, guys? How is everybody? Welcome to week 29 on my shiny forehead. Awkward. Anyway, so welcome into week 29 of our 30 books in 30 weeks, and I am so honored that you guys have stuck by me for all of this time. We're 206 days, I think it was, into this journey together, and I decided that I wanted to close this out with some very, very special messages. Hey Antoinette, hey Pamela. So I want to highlight this week my own book. It was my very first book that I ever written. I've written 7 now, I think 8 maybe. I'm working on 8 or 9. I've lost track. I think I'm working on number 9. But Journey to Find Your Butterfly Potential was so special. This is actually the second edition that we're going to talk through. It's a little bit more expanded from the first one, but my heart and everything that I am is in this book. And I've given this book as a gift to people who didn't understand me, because I thought, if you can flip through these pages and understand what I've been through. I was told once that I didn't seem happy, and I had to share this book with that individual and explain to them. It was a colleague of mine, and I actually autographed the book, and what I said to him was that for all the times that you said you think I'm not happy, hopefully what's in these pages will give you a glimpse of the journey that I've been on, and so you'll understand what truly unhappy looks like in my life, and that no matter what I go through now, I'll never be as unhappy as I was when I started this journey 15 years ago. And so, like I said, my heart is in this book, my soul is in this book, my spirit is in this book, and I really, it's important to me that we wrap these 30 weeks up with something that is, all the books have a great deal of meaning to me, but this one in particular, because it was my first book, has a heightened meaning to me, and because it's my story. It is my story. It was my journey to find my butterfly potential that is in these pages that I share with you all, humbly and with gratitude. So I'm excited for you guys to join me. If you're coming in, please feel free to share the video out, invite some people into the conversation this week. We're going to talk a lot about self-esteem. We're going to talk about you understanding what is your capacity, what is your potential, what is your butterfly potential, and we're going to go into what does that mean and how does it manifest and what does that look like and why is it so crucial to our overall success and our overall happiness to find our butterfly potential and to really truly embrace everything that means. So if you're coming in for the first time, I'm sorry, I already went off because I told you my heart is in this book. My name is Marcy Batiste. I am the Ultimate Power Coach. I am America's #1 reality-based success and recovery trainer. I'm sold out to my happiness. I live life on Mars, and being the spark that ignites the light for somebody else to discover and embrace their star power is what moves me. And so it's exciting for me to be able to do what I love, work with people that I truly, truly care about, and to see them be able to manifest within themselves their butterfly potential. So this week's book, Journey to Find Your Butterfly Potential, I shared with you all. It's my first book. And what it does, in this book, I took the life cycle of a butterfly and I compared it back to the human life cycle. And I identified certain similarities in the cycles. I believe that we all go through certain expected cycles, whether it's a new relationship, whether it's a new job, it's a new church, maybe you're shopping at a new grocery store. There's certain things that you can expect to go through, certain emotions on these journeys, but in particular when you're having a hey Alfred, when you're having a emotional journey, when you are having a transformational journey, and that truly is what Journey to Find Your Butterfly Potential is about. It is about transforming your mind, it is about transforming sometimes your body, and it is certainly about transforming your love for yourself. It's about truly transforming from the inside out. And a lot of times we focus on external transformations and we don't ever think about what goes on the inside. And so I transformed so much, and I changed so much of the outside of me, but the inside of me still felt ugly. She still felt like she was 400 pounds. She still felt like she didn't matter. And so finding your butterfly potential is when you finally realize, like, I freaking make a difference. I freaking matter. What I think matters. How I feel matters. I'm valuable. I'm worthy. And truly, when you get centered with who you are, what you stand for, and you are okay when people fall away. If they don't fit into that new space that you're in, your butterfly potential is that protection. It's that suit of armor so that you don't need all the walls that you used to have to put up. And so when we think about the transformation of the caterpillar to the butterfly, right? And one of the things that I talk about in the book a lot is molting. And so one of the things that the caterpillar always has to do is it has to molt. And so it has to shed, because the skin of the caterpillar doesn't ever change sizes. So the only way for the caterpillar to grow and become is to discard what is obsolete. But see, as people, as humans going through transformation, we tend to want to drag all the bullshit with us. We want to bring all the baggage, all the hurt, all the pain, all the anger, all the dysfunction, all the chaos, but we think that somehow we can drag that with us and still blossom, still become, still grow. And the lessons that we learn from the caterpillar says, no, you can't do that, boo. You have to molt. You have to leave it behind. And so I share with you guys so many times in my life where I would get to a point where I felt like it was over. There was nothing left. And it was in those moments, I'm getting emotional. It was in those moments where I was able to molt finally and shed what no longer served me. It didn't serve my best self. It didn't serve my children. It didn't serve my happiness. And I could finally molt. And each time after I molted at these different points, and I'm going to talk about those this week, you guys, but every single time I molted, what came after that pain, so freaking amazing. Changes that I never could have predicted. I mean, my life became something that I never imagined. Who would have thought that a 400-pound banker from Iowa, this little mixed girl with pigtails, could end up to be an author, who could end up speaking internationally, who could have a blog that's read on 6 different continents. Who would have thought that? I didn't think that. I didn't know that. I couldn't have predicted that. It never could have happened if I'd have been carrying all that stuff with me. So, as you can tell, I'm very, very passionate about this book. I'm very passionate about this subject. And I'm excited. I'm so excited to share this with you guys this week. But what I want to talk about today, I said, if all you ever see is ugly, that's all you'll ever be is ugly. And what I mean by that, one of the exercises that I oftentimes have personal clients go through and that I had to take myself through was an exercise where I had to sit down and make myself identify a few key things. Number one, I had to identify when the last time was that I received a compliment. I had to figure that out, and it was tough. It was so tough. I remember I was in Sedona when I was working on this book. It was so hard. And then I had to remember the last time I gave a compliment. Because you see, you attract what you are, and you repel what you desire oftentimes. And so if you're not getting compliments, more than likely it's because you're not giving compliments because you're not giving back. The universe gives back what you put out there. So if you put out positive energy and positive vibes, you get positive vibes back. One of the things you hear me say all the time, vibe different. If you want different, do different. Vibe different, right? And then one of the biggest things was the exercise to sit down and list out 10 things that I loved about myself, 10 things that I valued about myself. And when I tell you, that was the hardest exercise in the heat of my pain. It was so hard. Like, I struggled to find one thing that I liked about myself. It was so hard. Let alone to find 10 things that I liked about myself. It was so hard. My first list was shit. It was terrible. It was so surface. It was so shallow. And in some ways it was a lie. I wish now I would have kept it. It was so hard. It was so hard. And I have clients that are struggling with self-esteem issues, and that's one of the hardest things, is for them to find out something that they like about themselves. And so this exercise, write down 10 things that you truly like about yourself, and this is why that's important. Number one, if all you see is ugly, that's all you'll be is ugly. Like I said, you get back what you give out. So you're giving out ugliness, hatred, anger, bitterness. That's what you're going to attract. That's what you're going to bring back into your life, which is going to perpetuate it. It's going to become a cycle. Once you can identify 10 things that you like about yourself, I give you extra room in the book to make the list, and then I give you an extra page to write the list again. And I tell you, tear this out, take it with you, carry it with you. And why do I tell you that? I tell you that because when the world comes for you, there might not be nobody else that likes one thing about you. So you may think. You may struggle to find one person that can give you a compliment. You may struggle to find one person who believes that you're capable of change, of transformation, of growth, of success, of happiness, of love. Whatever that thing is that moves your freaking soul, you might be the only person that can see it. But baby, until you can see it, the world's not ever going to be able to see it, because you'll be afraid to show it. And so I love that list, because when the world comes for you, you have to know somebody thinks you're freaking amazing. Somebody finds value. Somebody sees your potential. Even if that somebody is you. And that's why that list is so important. I need for you to be able to see how beautiful, smart, incredible, amazing you are, in order for you to show that to somebody else. Here's the thing. Like I said, until you can molt the negativity, until you can molt the baggage, until we can retrain the tracks that have been laid in our heads, and we're going to talk about those tracks and how they get there, and then how you get rid of them. And so that's what I did with all these different phases, is I walked through Ray's journey on how she entered into these various phases of dysfunction and chaos, what that looked like in the midst of the chaos and pain, and then I share with you how she was able to molt and move on. And that's what you gotta realize, is that it's a moment. It's a period of time. It's an instance in your life. It's not forever. And I shared a post earlier today, and I think it was today. I post a lot, so I get confused sometimes, but I shared in a post earlier today that your darkest hour only has 60 minutes in it. That's true. Your darkest hour only has 60 minutes. You can endure for 60 minutes. But the thing to remember is that you're not ever alone. Whatever your higher power is, whatever your spirit is, hey Steph, whatever that thing that provides comfort for you, it's always going to be with you if you allow it to be. Right? So if you know that your darkest hour only has 60 minutes in it, and you know that in order to grow and to become as amazing and as wonderful as you have the potential to be, just means you have to mold, you have to endure, you got to get rid of this, we got to get through this, but better is waiting, different is waiting. You just got to vibe different, baby. All right, so that's the message for tonight. I promise every day this week we will be talking, because when I tell you that my everything is in this book, you know, one of the things I do is I coach other authors on how to write their books, and we talk about hitting the wall and finding that place where you're just like, the book just pours from your gut. That's what this is. My heart is in here, and I'm excited to share my heart with all of you all this week for week 29 out of 30 books in 30 weeks. So I'll talk to you guys tomorrow night. As always, thanks for being part of the Ultimate Power team. I love you. I appreciate you. And most of all, thanks for living life on Mars with me, y'all. I'll talk to you later.